So guys, I'm gonna say this: business at some point or another is a revolving door. And when it is your turn to go through that revolving door, or that client's turn to go through that revolving door, go through it. Go through it knowing that you did everything possible. And here's an example. Clients, no matter how close they are, will moonlight every now and then. And what I mean by this is they'll have another pool company come on property and make sure everything is done up to standard. Make sure everything is going okay. You know, because I've been the side dude. I've been the side pool dude. So when I get back from Labor Day, client who's traveling the world asks, was there a reason why I had turned the heater off by the line? He asked me a couple things, and I answered them to the best of my ability. Due to an issue that the tenants had caused back in May by having the spa circulate only. They had the spa circulating only for a week. The pool wasn't circulating. They used a tub of coconut oil that got inside the water. And keep this in mind, I sent the client pictures, inside, outside, everything that was done. I sent them everything. You know, and I suggested, hey, because of this, let's get this pool drained next year. And this client still decided to, you know, go on a casual date with another pool company. Because when I serviced this particular pool last week, I noticed that the tenants did the same thing again. They had the water circulating. Pool water was not circulating, and I immediately put a stop to that. I said, no. I cut the gas. I turned the valves correctly, and I set the actuators in neutral so that problem could clear up, so that we wouldn't have a reoccurrence of what happened in May. It took a long time to clean up. I also cleaned the filters back in June. Anyway, new pool company, warranty company comes in, says that the filters look like they weren't cleaned since a year. Cleaned in a year. And these look like they haven't been cleaned in a year. Salt cell hasn't been cleaned. Blah blah blah. And there were some truths. The valve needed to be reset. There were some truths to this, but these truths I had already explained to the client in a text. I explained to them what the tenants were doing. Keep this in mind. It's hard to service a pool with tenants, because eventually, no matter what you do, this is why I say don't tap dance too hard. Eventually, the tenants will always be right. Now, mind you, when the pool company came upon this said pool, the pool was not in disarray. If I have the picture, which I'll post it, the pool was a perfectly clean pool. And I sent the guy a message. I said, hey, hold on, I'm right around the corner. Let me go see what they're seeing. Took the filter top off. And I said, this filter was cleaned back on June 19th when you got a bill for it. And the dirt that you see on this filter isn't caked in. Now, mind you, we clean filters once per quarter. And I said, so this coincides with back in June. So we got June 19th, July 19th, August 19th. We're moving into the month of September. So you're going to see some dirt residual on it, but it's not caked in like they said. And I sent videos to the client. And then I told him my reasoning for doing everything that I did. I said, hey, this is the reason why I left the pool like this last week because the tenants were doing the same thing they did back in May. So I did set the actuators to neutral. I did cut the gas for 1 week so that I can get the popular circulation and resume everything this week. Make a long story short, the client terminates service. Stating that the warranty company said it would be better to go with them because there's going to be open lines of communication and they can prove them, blah, 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 blah. And you know what I did? I simply thanked him for his business. Didn't take it personal. Because I know that the warranty company came upon a perfectly clean pool. Other than the issue of the salt cell and me cutting the gas line off. Other than that, they came upon and I asked the tenant, I asked the customer, I said, how was the pool? And he was like, well, they said the pool was clean, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. You know, because usually the pools I get called out on, are in shambles. You know, usually when somebody calls me up and they have a pool company, the pool is in disarray. This is the reason why I tell people what the warranty company did was completely wrong. I said never talk about another pool guy's work. Never say, oh, these haven't look like they've been cleaned in a year when they actually were clean. Never say this because I have been communicating with the said client all the way through May, all the way to suggesting that, hey, let's get this pool drained. There's more oil in it. I've been doing that. So for him to say, it was, they communicate well, I did too. Apparently, all the way up until yesterday, when I got the message, I stopped by to see what they were seeing. But keep this in mind, business is a revolving door. I had him probably maybe for 5 summers. And if that's not enough to keep your business as far as me properly maintaining it, you haven't had any issues, the pool wasn't green, A, B, C, and D, and I have been communicating. If that wasn't enough, peace. Business is a revolving door. So I thanked him for his business and kept it pushing.